creativity can sometimes make you feel like the walls are closing in on you. You have to push them away before you can really start getting any place. It's a little bit like, remember the Star Wars movie with the trash compactor that's going to smush you and kill you? That's sometimes what writing feels like. So let's start by pushing the walls and giving ourselves a little more creativity. I'm going to read just the opening paragraph of Runaway for you right now. Simon sat on a bench in Central Park, in strawberry fields to be more precise, and felt his heart shatter. No one could tell, of course, at least not at first, not until the punches started flying and 2 tourists from Finland, of all places, started screaming, while 9 other park visitors from a wide variety of countries caught the whole horrible incident on smartphone video. But that was still an hour away. My name is Harlan Coben. Welcome to the Black Box. I just read the opening paragraph of the book Runaway, my 31st novel. I usually pick the topic by what's interesting, I find interesting right now. So, for example, in the case of Runaway, there was 3 or 4 things I wanted to write about. One is I wanted to write about drug abuse. Another thing I wanted to write about were these new ancestor DNA genealogy websites, where we gladly give over our DNA to find out something about our past and maybe have our entire world rocked. And the third thing I wanted to write about were cults, religious cults, because I see a lot of that going on in our society right now on different levels, cult-like behavior. So I took these 3 things and I was like, is that 3 books? Is it 1 book? I don't know. And then when I found that opening of Simon sitting in the park and he sees his daughter who's been strung out on drugs and missing for 6 months, the pieces started to come together. No writer likes to admit this, but every character is you, including the worst of the worst, the baddest of the bad, the villain, has to be, you have to understand them. The one quality a novelist has to have is empathy. I have to be able to get in everybody's head, even people who I completely disagree with. I have to get in their head and be them. My writing routine is not to have a routine. I think I'm the only writer who probably says this, but I use up things. I'll do something. Here's the key of writing. The key to writing is to write. I know that sounds simple, but if writing in the morning is making you write, do it then. Afternoon, evening, wearing clothes, no socks, some socks, whatever it is that makes you write is what works. One quick recent example to show you exactly how crazy sometimes it can be. So one day I took an Uber from my home in New Jersey into New York. And I was sitting in the back seat of the Uber and I was feeling guilty about spending the money to Uber. So I started to write. And I wrote really well. So for 3 weeks, I took Ubers everywhere I went in order to keep writing. I think this is probably something you're not hearing too often. If you're trying to be a writer out there, I'm actually sort of against doing too much research, because the problem is researching is much more fun than getting yourself in the black box and creating. Research can sometimes be an excuse, you know? I want to write a scene that goes on in the Louvre. I better go to the Louvre and walk around the Louvre and look at the painting. No, you've been to the Louvre. You know what it's like. Write with your mind, with your imagination, with your memory. Later on, you can make sure you get the research right. Well, here's the French copy, which is over here. I hope this is the book that you take to sleep and just say, it's 11 o'clock at night, I'm just going to read for 10 minutes and then I'll fall asleep. No. And then at 4 in the morning, you're angry at me, you're cursing me because you had to know what happens. And now it's time for me to exit. But thank you all very, very much. I'll take this with me.